So I got a question, and it's one that I am trying to understand the arguments for and against. So there is a bill working its way through the Arizona House, HB 2165, and it would, in effect, ban recipients of SNAP, the food stamp program, okay, from using SNAP money to purchase junk food, soft drinks, candy, etc.
Those little round donuts.
It passed through committee 7-5. It'll be moving on to the full Arizona House. But when I saw that, I went, wait a minute. In a committee of 12, 5 of them said, no, I want them to be able to buy soda pop and this. And I just don't understand it. I don't understand the argument that government money meant for nutrition for people who, I'm going to assume, need the help.
Exactly.
They need the food.
There's a lot of people who get
many
SNAP
of them
benefits.
with children. Why you would say, but it's okay for them to have food that we know, whether it's sugary drinks or candy or whatnot, that will lead to health outcomes later in life, that if you're getting food stamps now, SNAP, I'm going to assume as a taxpayer and as a government, we're going to have to pay for your medical bills later on that were caused by the stuff we gave you before.
Right.
This is crazy. Listen, I don't want to, I'm not trying to shame people who need that. Good. I'm glad it exists for you. I don't want you to go hungry. But I hope you can also understand why a lot of people don't think it's a good idea to subsidize bad eating choices with government money. If you want to buy that with your own money, knock yourself out. But the government money is going to have to go for things that is at least on the food pyramid. Does that still exist, by the way? Is the food pyramid still around?
I think so.
Because I'm pretty sure 2-liter bottles of cocaine on the food pyramid.
I'm just amused at this whole discussion, because I remember during the Obama administration where Michelle was like, hey, I don't think kids should be eating chicken nuggets every day at school.
I agreed.
And so I think this is that.
Yeah.
Just a different name.
When she said, Michelle Obama was talking about school lunches.
Yeah.
And them being unhealthy. And a lot of them were like
Fries.
outsourced to fast food companies.
Yes.
Is this what we should be feeding kids? I was like, that's a solid argument. If it's government dollars, maybe we should be a little smarter, especially when you see, and the numbers, I'll have to rely on other people to look this up, that amongst teens, the obesity rate is near 50%.
50%?
50. So why are we subsidizing bad decisions with taxpayer dollars? Why?
I'm having a hard time coming up with a reason why, except you would say, people should be free to choose whatever they want to eat. However, we shouldn't have to subsidize foods that are, people should be able to pick what foods they want to eat. We're not saying you should have chicken over shrimp. We're not saying that, although I wouldn't pick shrimp if you were on SNAP benefits because that's pricey. But the thing is that you're talking about, like, people want freedom to choose what they want. We're a country that respects people should be able to do what they want to do. However, if you are getting government assistance, that should be on the necessities. And are Funyuns a necessity?
Regardless of whether you argue they are. Representative Alma Hernandez is arguing against this bill.
Okay. What's her reasoning?
Saying people should have the ability to make their own decisions, regardless of whether they are SNAP recipients. I believe in personal freedom. And I'm like, no, you don't get to divorce those two things. I believe in people making their own decisions. I'm fine of personal freedom. I'm a huge believer in it.
Yes, you are.
But not with other people's money. And that's what SNAP is. SNAP is government money. It's taxpayer dollars. It comes from somewhere. And I don't want to I don't think we should drug test people. I'm not down that path. No. I'm not trying to shame them and embarrass them for it. But I don't think it's unreasonable to say, we're going to limit what you can spend this on. And we're not going to tell you what you can buy. We're just going to take the stuff that we absolutely know is not good for you, and especially not good for kids. Did you know that in the SNAP program right now, 20% of SNAP benefits go towards sugary drinks, soda pop?
Yes.
That's ridiculous.
Yes.
That is not a nutritional item. That is not good for anybody. I'm not saying you can't drink it until you die. Be my guest. I just, as a taxpayer, I don't want to be pouring it down the throats of kids who are on the food stamp program.
This is kind of like that. This is kind of like the argument over, the school vouchers. Like, you could get a school voucher, but you can't buy a piano with it, which is what Tom Horn was saying with the school voucher, because that's public money. But again, here, like, there should be some limits. There's some limits. I think there should be limits. I don't understand why you.
I got a text from the people that text. Shout out to Stuart.
Okay, Stuart.
He says SNAP gives you $9 a day. I don't know if that's true or not, but if it's $9 a day, I'm sure it's $9 per person. So if you have a family or whatever, he figured out. And he said people can't afford healthier food because it's more expensive than the junk food.
Now there is an argument for that.
Okay, I'm willing to hear that argument. I'm willing to hear that.
Because, they've done studies on if you go to certain economic neighborhoods, they don't have, they can't use $9. $9 does not go very far in Whole Foods at all.
Right.
Let's face it.
But let's be honest. You don't have to go to Whole Foods.
No, you don't. But where does $9 go?
If you shop, and by the way, if you don't know how they build supermarkets, I'd like to apologize to Eddie Bash. I'm going to let him in on a secret. You shop around the edges is where they put the healthy food.
Yes.
Down the middle is where they put the junk food.
The frozen pizzas and
that's where ice cream. That's where the chips are. That's in the middle. The healthy food's around the edges. The junk food's down the middles. You know why? Because everybody walks around and darn the middle.
So I was at Fry's the other day. Okay. And they had a sale on chicken thighs. And chicken thigh, because I like dark meat. I think dark meat is the best meat.
Have at it.
Okay. And I was like, ooh, $1.99 a pound. So I picked up 4 thighs.
Is that a lot or a little?
That's a good price.
That's a good deal. Okay.
And I was like, ooh, okay. And so I got 4 thighs, and that was $5 something. And depend on the weight, And you know what I was thinking at the time? I was like, if I only had $10, I could feed myself and the family
pretty well for a while.
For
fresh chickens
for a day.
Yeah.
Because if it's me, a husband, and 2 kids. Everybody gets 1 piece of chicken. If you have some rice, and maybe you can afford some vegetables, some frozen peas.
I just think, but
$9 a day
per person.
I mean,
I'm not saying it's a lot.
The junk food goes farther.
They're not buying steaks with it. I get that.
That's true, because that's $9 a pound.
But cutting out, if they just cut out soda pop, you'd be ahead of the game. Do you know what I'm saying? And there are other things you can drink besides soda pop. And I think when you look at this, when you talk about a public health crisis, when you talk about obesity, Arizona has one of the highest rates of obesity and type 2 diabetes. And guess what? When you go to low-income communities, that number goes up.
Yes, it does. And if you go to those low-income communities, they don't have, they've done research, they don't have the same access to the vegetables and the fruits at these...
The food deserts.
Yes, they are.
SNAP is supposed to help people.
Yes, but does $9 really help as far as
I don't care about $9.
To?
I care about soda pop and candy runs contrary to bettering public health, which is what SNAP is supposed to do. It is supposed to help people, and if we don't make changes in it, we're just harming people with it.
Thanks for watching Outspoken with Bruce and Gatos. Tap to watch more from KTAR News and click the button in the middle to subscribe.